Okay. Let's see.
Oh, I got both my names up there. Good.
Yeah, you have to represent the two spirit.
Yeah.
Here we go. And just start taking some nice deep breaths with me. Help me ground to the space. Feeling your feet. Feeling your belly. Feeling your genitals. Oh, I need that link. Can you? Crap, I need the link again. Can you email me the link real quick, Kat? Trying to go live on Facebook, so give me a moment.
Hey, did you get it?
Let me see. No, did you send it to learosebarber@gmail.com?
Yes.
No, not happening. Okay. All right. Then you're gonna have to post it in this, post it to this feed. Okay? Kat?
But
Ready?
Mercury retrograde.
Yeah. Well, there's also a lot of energy that we're putting into the field right now. So it has a Maria will tell you, there's a tendency to blow up electronics. So maybe if we do that, then we had a good. All right, we're going live on Facebook. Okay, is this working? You just go to the global turn on and see if you see our meeting happening. Good morning, everyone. Showing up. Just want to get this live streaming. Here we go. We are live streaming. Excellent. All right, and I'm going to come back to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, everybody, here we go. We got some panelists on. We have some people joining. If you're here, say hello and let us know in the chat box and where you're from. You're not going to be able to see me right now because you're not going to be able to see yourself right now because you are on a webinar. Hi, Kristen. Ooh, Montana and Seattle. We got Kimberly in Hawaii. Greetings from Croatia. Let's just start to tune into that field that we're creating. We've already gone global. We've already gone over the oceans. Yes, welcome. Anathea is here from California. Woohoo! We got some fur babies with us. I got my fur baby with us. Welcome. I just want to take a moment to take you in. For all of you that are watching this webinar right now, I want you to presence yourself to what it takes to make anything like this work. Your vision, your passion, like it takes these people, this many people, mentors, friends, people who are inspired by you, like people who will go do what you say when you instigate an idea. And hi, Debras Response from California. Hello, welcome. We have lots of people showing up. We're also recording this on Facebook. I just want to make sure that I share this with my people. So this morning, you know, this webinar, and I just want you all who are watching, let's just all presence in together. So go ahead and sit back and like lean back, you know, like, yeah, there we go. Lean back. How can you allow yourself to let the feminine support you? It's like Big Mama. She wants to hold you in her arms. So go ahead and if you need to, close your eyes, but just breathe into being supported. Feel yourself being supported at your back. Oh, good. We got some landing happening. And just noticing how you feel in your body right now. I know for myself, I feel heavy in my head, feel a little anxious and nervous in my belly. All good stuff, nothing I can't handle. But how do you feel? So type how you feel in the chat box so we can be connected here. All right, we're gonna get started. Okay, what are y'all doing for October 27th? October 27th of 2019. What is everyone doing? Okay, so I want you to just take a moment and check your calendar. If you haven't checked it, right? Go check your calendar, but stay with me in this conversation because October 27th is going to be very important. It's the day that we turn the world on. And each one of you has a very special place in this movement, in this event. So who am I? I'm Leah Rose. I'm the head instigator of this whole thing. The people that you see here are very special people in my life. My mentors, my friends, my partners in crime. This is what it takes, this screen right here, to have a global movement. And it's actually much bigger than this because this project started about 5 years ago. And that woman down there in the corner, Lynell, and that woman in the corner, Maria, they were the space holders for me to really have this idea and like believe in myself that I could even make it happen. Like for realsies. It took someone else to believe in me. Now, I knew that I had power. I knew that I was a powerful ass lady, but I did not know what I was capable of until I gave myself to a mission. So this project started 5 years ago. So we started holding women's circles all around the world on the same day. We had 16 circles over the past 4 years. We had 4,000 women, men, and children. And last year, I started hearing this voice. And it was the voice of she that I now call the voice of she. And she was telling me, you know, this is morphing. This is turning into something new. And I was like, no, but I love it this way. And she's like, no, you have to listen. This is too small for you. This is too small for the world. And there's conversations that need to happen for humanity that your women need to be a part of. So we morphed into the global turn on, which is inclusive. So this project is not just for women. This project is inclusive of, and not just white women either. I'm just gonna like put myself on the line there and say that. Like, the feminine, yes, the feminine embodies all of her children. So this is for women of color. This is for men of color. This is for the two spirits. This is for transgendered people. I want you to know that you're welcome here in this space and that you are needed in this space. And anyone that I missed. But all of you are welcome here. And this event that we're generating an electrical current. We're turning on the power of the world. We're turning on the power of community on October 27th. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit how you can participate. That's going to be a little bit later. So stay with me here. And I want to presence you into a question of what would it look like for you if you embodied the fullness of your being, the fullness of who you are and what you came here for. Now, I know that's a big question, so let's breathe into that. You know, I talk about feminine leadership, right? Just the term itself is an oxymoron. Because the feminine isn't about really taking action. You know, the feminine is about being. The feminine is first about being who you are, owning your power. And then once you know what you're connected to and who you are, then going out and taking action. So who am I? I'm the founder of this project. I am also a healer. I've spent 20 years in energy healing as a body worker. I've worked one-on-one with people. I've probably thousands of people at this point I've worked one-on-one with. I facilitated to thousands of people in women's circles. And there's one thing that always brings me back to community. And that is that our stories are medicine. Our stories open up a place in our hearts that gives us acceptance for each other, that gives us healing for ourselves. And that's what the world needs now. The world needs acceptance. The world needs love. The world needs connection. Five years ago, even before. I mean, I've always been led to the feminine. I found healing arts work because I had my own issues, anger issues. And I was very, very masculinized. And like, I'm what you call the epitome of a strong, powerful woman, right? But like, no matter how strong I was, if I didn't let go and let myself tune into my heart and like let myself be what was there without all of the protection, I had no access to my real power. So each one of you has access to this power. And I just tune in, like tune into your own field. How much access do you feel like you have to your power? Go ahead and put it in the chat box. How much access do you have to your power? The feminine is asking us to get bigger. It's time to step into a new context of what we think feminine is. You know, this isn't about being a woman. This is about knowing yourself. This is about listening. This is about understanding that you are the vessel from which transformation happens. And when you are the kind of leader that does what they say and living by example, you teach integrity and you walk the path of integrity. And when you open yourself to the fullness of who you are, and then you focus it on what you love, you are unstoppable. Like unstoppable. Nothing stops me anymore. Except for maybe myself. But like, even when I get stopped in myself, I have the ability to tune in and say, okay, what is this? I can listen. About a year ago, this was when she asked me to let go, right? She asked me to create space. So here's the thing about the feminine. You have to create space for the feminine. You have to create space for you, for that fullness that you are, for those projects, for those passions. You need to create space for that. I know that some of you are putting up with a bunch of BS right now in your lives. You're feeling stuck, you're feeling trapped, you're feeling obligated, things are feeling forced. These are all symptoms that you're not tuning in. You are not connected to your listening. See, we go. Yeah, Deborah says in response to her this fullness, she says minimal because I allow life to get in the way. Pluto Saturn makes me feel it is squeezed. Yeah. Working on it and growing. Forecast looks badass. That's awesome. And I'm constantly working on this too. I'm constantly working on this too. But in order for the global turn on to even happen and come through me, I needed to give it space. I can't tell you the things that I had to let go of in the past year. A big one was codependency. In my relationship, I quit my job. And my job was in my own business with my husband, but I needed to make space. I had to move. I had to move into a bigger space. I had to just start saying no. I had to start, in order to say yes, I had to start saying no, because there was places that I had given my word to that weren't authentic to who I was, to who I am. I'm sure that there's places that you're doing that too, right now. All right. I just want to presence you into, yeah, I'm using a lot of words, but this is a transmission. This is for your body. So if you're feeling yourself get tight, see if you can let go a little bit. Presence into your feet. So I'm clear that I am just starting a conversation here. I don't know all of the answers. I was telling Maria the other day that, you know, I'm like this. I'm in purpose. I know who I am. I'm walking forward, but it is dark out there, right? It's like the unknown out there. But what I do know is that this global turn-on event is happening. And you are all a part of it. All of you is welcome here. And I don't know what's going to happen when we bring the ancient practices that we're bringing forward into the future. I really don't know what's going to happen when we turn the world on with electricity, right? But I do know that through the listening, this has to happen. Do any of you lovely people have anything to say? Okay, then I'm going to keep. Lynell, go for it.
Hello, everyone. Well, it's definitely my privilege to have the opportunity to be with you today. And Leah Rose, thank you for the opportunity and the privilege to be part of what you're launching. You know, what you were sharing, of course, we're all in this evolution, you know, together, and we're on a journey that, yeah, you have to say yes to the unknown. I love how you put your hands over your eyes, because that's exactly what it is. And what I want to contribute is, you know, Leah Rose introduced me as her mentor, but she's really been my mentor as it relates to getting in touch with my own feminine leadership, because I grew up in a military environment. It was all about getting things done, period. That was what it was. It was shut up and march. It's like nobody asked you how you felt or if this was right for you. It was all about, this is what you're doing. And when I began to get in touch with this, I guess it's been a couple of years now, I called Leah Rose. I said, listen, I know something's happening, and I know my masculine, very masculine way of leadership has run its course, and it's time to transition. And some of you may be in the same place. I was in corporate America. You know, I was in predominantly masculine leadership roles. When I say that, meaning my leadership teams were primarily masculine, and the methodology of how we led was very masculine. And I knew that that was not my authentic expression in the world. And having conversations with Leah Rose, giving myself permission to not know, first of all, there was that cuss word called vulnerability that I was like, oh, are you kidding? You know, because it was synonymous with weakness, right? Like in the old paradigm. And, you know, having conversations with you, Leah Rose, really gave me permission to embrace that side of myself, that vulnerability. And then, like, I'm in another transition right now. And you know, what you shared just now was perfect in terms of the space that is needed. Because, you know, my plate is the size that it is, and I'm all about a bigger plate. And then there are times that it's necessary to take stuff off of that plate. And I find that I have golden handcuffs all over my life. And so now, you know, at what you were shared just got me present to, like, what is it going to take for me to actually say yes to the next chapter? And Sergio is also a big part of that, you know, just encouraging me, next chapter, next chapter. And it's, you know, kind of, you know, when you've been walking on this path, you can walk on with your eyes closed. It takes something to say, you know, now you're going that way, and you have to swing your machete to make a path.
Exactly.
So, yeah, so I just wanted to share. Some other people may be in that same predicament, that corporate America has you thinking it's a particular way, or whatever leadership role you're in, but you know, give yourself space to let all that go. And it turns out you have a safe landing, no loss of life. You just got to be willing to go. Yeah. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Anathea says, Lynell, you are awesome. You are right on. That's right. That's right. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll go. So I've known Lia Rose since 2011, and I'm Maria Yraceburu, for those that don't know that. I'm part Native American, and I have walked this path my entire life, except for the brief moments of insanity when I tried to leave it and become normal. So I do have sympathy for some of the stories I'm telling or hearing, and for other ones, if I get a confused look on my face, it's just because I can't relate. It's not that I, don't feel for you. And I have been learning to make space for life to happen in my life again. For many years, I was, basically the minister, the holy one of our community. And I've been doing ritualistic work since I was 5 years old. It was when they first started coming to me within my family, and asking for messages and different things. But I am also going to be 65 in a couple of months. And every time I have reached a point in my own evolution where I have known it was time for me to grow and leave some things behind and do other things, they're always erupted within the community. But we need you for that. There's nobody else to take over and do that. Well, in 2011, stepping into the 2012, we recognized that the time was coming where, whether the community liked it or not, I was going to be stepping into what I was supposed to be doing. And Leah Rose and a handful of women that I've been working with for 20 years now, on and off, come and go as they do their thing and come back home, because I'm mama, okay? I am the lap they all sit in when they need to cry. So they've been helping me learn how to let go of that role as the primary spiritualist in our community into being that elder that comes and goes with the wisdom and teachings as needed. And now the one circles become mini circles that are incorporated into the larger circle. So Leah's been very instrumental in that. And I'm really proud of where it's gone, and that I'm really proud of myself because I've been able to let go and let her do it without too much rift between us. We get into a little timing factor because I'm a time charter, and so I'm strictly on mom's timing scale, and she's still working at it. So, but we're getting there. This year, we started on time. And so things are falling into place. So that's a little bit about my story and this thing about allowing space for time to happen. One of the things that you will find is that as you allow space for time to happen, for life to happen, you have more time and you're actually accomplishing more with less effort. And I think that's the big thing that everybody needs to start recognizing, that it's not that you're going to get left behind. It's that you're actually going to be 10 miles ahead of the game. So thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. That is so true. When we slow down, we actually get more stuff done. It's kind of weird how that happens. It's a little scary, actually, how that happens. Okay. All right, I want to tell you how you can participate in October 27th, because we are bringing the ancient future together with the global turn on. Now, the ancient stuff I get from Maria, and the future stuff I get from here. So we're merging, and we want you to participate. And there's a couple ways that you can do it, because this is a lot bigger than just leading circles. And we want organizations to be a part of this. We want women to lead circles. We want events to happen. And we also need guardians. Guardians sit and ground. They're not responsible for joining any circle on that day. Or event. They are there to be the observer. They are there to pray. So there is a solitary practice as well here on October 27th. If you're like, I don't want to lead a circle, okay, will you go pray for us? Will you go observe? Will you take yourself out to a place in nature and see what animals show up to you and then report it back to us? Seems easy enough, right? Like do what calls to you, really. We are out to cause 100,000 watts of electrical energy all around the world on October 27th. Each person represents 100 watts of power. That's pretty much what the body can handle without killing itself. 100 watts of Kundalini, of Shakti Ma, 100,000 watts. That's right. Okay, so I want to give I know. So Maria was also hit by lightning. So she's the one who knows how much a body can handle. Yeah, true story. So I wanted to bring Rose on because Rose, while we do women's circles, Rose is doing something a little bit different. And I wanted to give Rose a chance to speak a little bit about her project and what she is sharing on that day.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Rose. I met Leah Rose not that long ago, just in June, I think, maybe even a little before that. And she told me about her project and what's happening on October 27th and this feminine leadership stuff. And I was like, well, wait, like I'm a woman. I'm absolutely a leader. I've been a leader over the years in college and in different organizational settings. My thing is environmental climate advocacy. And for a few years, I was with a couple different environmental organizations that really focused on renewable energy policy. And throughout this time of doing this, really, really important, renewable energy is super important, and we have to transition away from fossil fuels and towards renewable energy. However, who I am in my authentic self, I really felt this kind of pull towards something bigger, towards something more controversial, towards something more, I guess that's really just it, something that was really taking like more of a stance and more of a side. And so about a year ago, I met a woman named Maria Yraceburu, who is the founder of an organization called EcoBirth, which brings awareness to how toxins in our environment, man-made, affect a woman's pregnancy and affect maternal health. And talking to her about this just sort of flipped my whole world around and really made me realize like who I am. I want to pursue this type of intersection of how our global environment, both man-made and just the natural environment, affects our individual bodies. And so throughout the past year, I've just been kind of doing my own research on my own, watching panels on YouTube, reading books, going to conferences, to really trying to hone in on like how does the climate crisis relate to our individual bodies, our individual relationships at home, families. And so out of that birthed what I'm now creating as a symposium, credits to Leah Rose, that event title. And I'm calling it A Case for Climate and Sex. We all have a sex life, whether it's absent in our lives or whether it's present. And we all in some way or another have been affected by or think about this global crisis of climate change. And so what I am doing on October 27th is hosting this symposium that is bringing together advocates and experts and participants of the climate crisis world and those involved in the reproductive health and choice and sex education world. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
sliding them into one. And I'm essentially trying to talk about what many do not talk about, being population and our choice to whether or not to have children, because at some point we all are going to choose whether or not to have children, and how we can kind of better integrate this conversation into the world of climate advocacy and women leadership and children's education and sexual liberation.
Yeah. Awesome. So thank you, Rose. And
Yes.
really, Rose took her passion, something that she's passionate about, and she's doing that. Leadership shows up in so many different ways. You don't have to lead a women's circle to have access to your feminine leadership, right? But women, the feminine creates spaces. She is a space for transformation. She is a space for the uncomfortable conversations. She is the space that's going to speak up. Okay. And I got someone says, see, Kimberly, oh, I saw it here. Someone said, I love you, Rose. Thank you, Rose. I used to teach kids sex ed and loved it. That was from Kristen. Smoky Spice. Yeah. So the invitation is it's like, what turns you on? Do that. You want to lead women's circles? Lead women's circles. You want to march down to City Hall and be an activist? Do that. You want to clean up the beach? Do that. You want to dance by yourself and be a guardian and just dance all day long? Do that. You know, what turns you on? That's what we want you to do on October 27th. So, Kat, go ahead and bust out the registration link. If you all are, yes, you're feeling like October 27th is doable for you, you want access to this conversation that will continue from here of what is the feminine and actually experience it for yourself in your life, join us for the Global Turn on October 27th. Yes, yes, yes! Sergio, do you want to say something? I want to hear from you because I need to hear some.
What do you want to hear?
Yeah, there we go. I just want to hear you.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
What do I want to say? Nothing. I want to listen.
Ooh, boom, mic drop. Yeah, thank you for being here. Yeah, I just really.
You're welcome.
Sergio's our creative director and
Two-spirit extraordinaire.
Two-spirit extraordinaire. And Sergio is the reason why everything looks so pretty. Because it wouldn't be for me. I'm like, I have the creative vision. He's like, yeah, but let's make it pretty. So thank you. Thank you for making our movement so attractive.
I'm little fairy that she's so hot. Look at her. So glad to be here.
Leah Rose, can I say something about Sergio?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Oh no.
So he's being shy right at the moment, everyone, but he's amazing. And I think what when we look at what turns us on and how we can contribute with what turns us on to the world, that Sergio has this amazing ability to balance masculine, feminine, to have you as a feminine, masculine, or whatever it is you say about yourself, have you get in touch with what turns you on. I mean, it really is in his listening. It's in his ability to hear and see the future, to know intuitively like how your gift fits into the space of where the world is going. So I just want you to know he's sitting there quiet, but he's a master of what it looks like to make space and what it takes to actually cause the next level of what it is you're up to. So he's also supporting me in making space for the next chapter of what I'm up to. And I love you, Sergio. And I want you to just give the gift of a couple of minutes of sharing, like what even that one conversation we had where you got me in touch with the fact that who I am in life is that you are at the source of your life. That is who I am everywhere. I mean, it's why I stand for leadership. It's why I stand for people walking out on the skinny branches. But it was your listening that brought that all together. So I just don't want you to be stingy this morning. So give us the gift of where you look from and the gift of, just what you can contribute to the people that have taken time out of their lives to be with us.
So great. Yeah, I'll be my hat. It says spread love. So,
Yeah, thank you.
The embodiment of it. Thank you for that. It's really great because just to share a little bit too about what everybody's been saying about the embodiment of both masculine and feminine. I was actually driving down from San Francisco yesterday, and there's this big talk about masculine, feminine, but also queerness and in its entirety. And one of the things, I was sitting in a car with somebody that's very masculine, but also identifies as like what he thought about himself as like 20% feminine. And I'm like, that's funny because I identify with like 80% feminine and then 20% masculine. And then I like fluctuate in between, right? And it's this dichotomy of understanding like who you are, but doing the deep dive. And I think that's the most important thing that we could do is start to look at not what we do or how we're doing it, but really in what Lynell's speaking about and Leah Rose is looking at why we're doing the things that we're doing, why we exist out in the world. And it's really inside of that conversation. And I always say, like, I always give this analogy just because I love it so much, is that you are a universe waiting to be explored. And inside of that universe, there's a sun, the central solar system, right? The central energy source. And around it are the planets in which you can operate and that surround that central system, the central energy source. And I always say that sun is your why, like why you exist. And if you just get clear on that, everything else starts to fall into place. You really start to see like, wow, like how can I create a business, or how can I create a project, or how can I create an event that really expands my universe and invites other people to come into it. Because, in this day and age, it's not about marketing yourself or selling yourself. It's about creating space. Exactly what we're standing for here and what Leah Rose is standing for. Is about creating space to invite people into a world, a universe for people to explore. Everyone is a universe that we can explore, and there's infinite possibilities inside of that universe. And when we start to look at, when we start here with ourselves and then expand that outwards and share that with the world, it really does create a shift that is needed and wanted in this world. And that creates a whole new paradigm of what it means to be a human being and finding your passion and living your passion. So thank you for that opportunity, Lynell. And thank you, Leah Rose, for having this and creating space. And it's so beautiful and amazing that we have all these amazing feminine leaders here today. And thank you for including me. And thank you, really, I have to take a moment to say thank you for standing inside of femininity and not secluding this to sex or gender. Yeah. Because that is a whole different space in this world. And as somebody that feels highly feminine all the time, that literally, it's funny because we were talking about this in the car yesterday with that same man. He's like, you know, it's just easier for me to pull masculine and present masculine. I was like, that's funny because it's easier for me to pull feminine and present feminine. And it's this understanding of my own self and really having a space to drop into and be heard and acknowledged. That's really valuable. And, you know, for those of you that don't know, I actually do drag. So I do present like literally 50% of the time as a woman.
Yeah.
And on top or yes, or anything.
Drop dead gorgeous woman.
I have no clue what you're talking about. I will be there later today. I'll be sure to send a little, like, I'll drop a little photo in the Global Turn On global group. But it's really, one of the reasons why I do drag is to have the conversation around transgender women be a lot easier. Those are my brothers and sisters. Those are people that have chosen to be women to 110%. They weren't born with it. They weren't born with the same parts, but they chose to commit themselves to what they feel on the inside and actually bring that out into the world. And, you know, there's a big conversation right now, and it's so funny. The minute we were talking about this, just to share for like 2 more minutes, I'm sorry, I'm like occupying all the time, is that I was in West Hollywood because I live in LA, and there was this woman that was talking about transgender women, and she spoke about them in such a way of like, oh, well, you know, they're not welcome here, and they're not welcome inside of women's circles. And I was like, I literally, my head spun round. I looked like the Exorcist coming back around. And I was just like, these are women that have chosen to be women, and they were born, and they feel like they weren't born in the right body, and they've chosen to make the transition into womanhood and really choose it powerfully. And I was like, if that's not a woman, I don't know what is.
Damn. Yeah.
And it's just so powerful. And I just want to say thank you, because this is a space, because we need those women. Thank you, Anathea. We do need those women.
Yep.
Because there's a deep well of knowledge there.
Yeah.
Leah, can I say something?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to share, because I too am a two-spirit. I've gone the way of having husbands and children and stuff, but now I'm where I belong with my wife. And the way I was brought up was that a two-spirit, you know, we were taught you don't fall in love with the body, you fall in love with the essence. So it doesn't really matter what the body is. And in Native American society, as with many indigenous societies, the two spirits are actually revered as holy ones. They're seen as the perfect balance of that masculine, that feminine. They're seen as the perfect balance between heaven and earth. And the roles that were led, and even sometimes now, you know, no council meeting was ever held without a two-spirit there. No clan meeting ever held without a two-spirit there. No circle ever held without a two-spirit there. They held vital roles within ceremony. They were the parents of our orphans. If any child was orphaned, they would go to two-spirit couples so that they would have a continuance in their lineage. So the two-spirit is a very valued part of Earth lineage and that feminine role. And I'm really excited. You know, I have friends and family that do have those circles that say transgender can't come into it. And I am happy to say that my Moon Lodge back in 1992 was the first one that ever accepted men that believed they were women into the Moon Lodge. I'm still sorting through the facts about why they don't want women in their, transgender in their circle. They got one point, but you know, we're not going to go into that today because I try not to be political, and that's what I find this argument to be. Okay. It's not about spirit. It's about politics. And, there's good points and bad points on both sides. It's how we choose to act with it that makes the difference. And honey, you're welcome in my circle anytime you want to come.
Oh, Maria, I love
you. Yeah. And like,
that's what I got to say. know about two spirits.
Thank you. And like, here's the thing. This is a conversation that needs to happen now. Now. And the women who are all a part of this community, because we're mostly women, some of you two spirits out there, but we need to do the work to make safe spaces for transgendered women, for women of color, for queer people. Like, it's just not okay that we don't have these safe spaces. And that is what Circle is. Like, that is what these events are for, is to create safe spaces for people to have the conversation.
Yeah. I'm going to throw something out there that's going to freak everybody out. According to prophecy, by the time we end the fifth world, there will only be one gender. We're going to be like seahorses anyway. So, you know, some of it you're going to get to pick and choose. Am I going to be a boy today or am I going to be a girl today? So that's the way it's going to work in the future. And we're seeing more and more of this. And this is why it's coming up so epidemic right now, is because we're already physically mutating into that.
Yes.
So that's where we're headed.
Okay.
So y'all can rumble around with that for
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So we just got turned on with some feminine conversation. Mama's like, this shit can't happen anymore. What are we going to do about it? We're going to gather. We're going to have conversations that matter and that make a difference with people. We're going to hold events that turn us on. We're going to pray. And that's the invitation. Kat, go ahead and post the registration link. So there's a registration link. And what I want you to go do is, if you are a yes to leading a circle, leading an event, or being a guardian on October 27th, go ahead and sign up. So there's a link, a registration link. Again, we are committed to generating 100,000 watts or more, 100,000 watts or more of electricity, of electrical current that is connecting every single person who is holding space, who is holding the space for this to happen. So I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you all. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Kat. Oh, wait, I didn't say hi to Kat. Can't complete without Kat.
Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Thanks. I'm Kat Foshee.
You're going to be seeing a lot more of Kat Foshee around here because this woman is on point. She's got everything. And she is here. Like, can I just tell you how amazing it is to have someone be like, I believe in what you do so much. I want to be a part of it. I want to help you get it out into the world. That's who Kat is for the Global Turn On.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. Wow. It's true. Spirit's been calling me to this lineage for a long time. And I can really identify with women that feel like they don't have a place, and people in general that don't have a place. And, you know, there's only so much that you can do alone before you just really need support. And sorry, I didn't mean to get all choked up there, but, you know, this is powerful work, and it's transformative work. And it's something that when you step into, it is going to change your life. And so the power of Circle gives you access to support that you need. It gives you access to friendship. It gives you access to sisterhood. It gives you access to mentorship. And I just want to encourage any of you who feel like you just cannot get your shit together to take a leap of faith and trust yourself that you can make a difference in your life, just one step at a time. And this is a call for you to get involved in a global organization that has massive resource, massive support. And Leah Rose is 100% a stand for your success. And she won't stop until you get there. True. I mean, the woman saved my life. She literally, I was open, I was willing, I did the work, but her guidance really saved my life. And that's why I believe in the work. I've seen the transformations. I've been in circle and watched women, their faces and their aura and their being just completely shift. And then they were transformed in front of my face. And it's true and accurate and authentic work. And it starts inside. And you have to have leadership that can hold space for this kind of thing. And that is where Maria comes in, and Lynell and Lia Rose and all of these mentors. So when you come into the global turn on, it isn't just Lia Rose Farber. It's this lineage that carries the space for all of us. So I'm happy to be here. Happy to turn on the wattage.
Yes.
Yeah. Blow this up.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And again, if you are ready to say yes, go ahead and just sign up at the registration link. There's a link in the participant box, and then we're also going to post it into the any of the shares that were happening. But thank you so much for being here. This is a dream come true. We are going to complete go ahead and take a moment for yourself. Just close your eyes and place your hand on your heart. And thank and acknowledge yourself for taking the time today to step into the feminine. And with that, we are complete. All right, I'm about to take us off Facebook. Bye.